Hello everyone, welcome to our Ardent Roleplay art stream. I'm Lauren, I'm an illustrator from Ardent Roleplay. If you're new to Ardent Roleplay, it is an augmented reality app for tabletop role-playing games. You can download the app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. So these cards are basically AR markers that you use with the app. As you can see from the video examples below me. And here are some examples of previous cards I've made. I suppose I'll give a bit of a rundown on these cards. So at the moment we have a full deck of 5 suits of high fantasy cards. And we also have should actually show you here. So these are the high fantasy. And what we'll be working on today is part of a new suit for Call of Cthulhu themed cards. Ardent Roleplay has a partnership with Chaosium who create Call of Cthulhu, so that's pretty cool. And I'll give you, these are the examples of the previous Metro suit that I did for Cthulhu. So today we're working on a card for the new suit, which will be a rural suit. Alrighty. Something we should know, there is different card types. So in the corner of each card, you'll notice there are little icons. And these are for archetypes. So the GM or the keeper can keep a track of where the story's going, and they can use these as like narrative cues, basically. It's completely optional, you don't have to use these, but it's a pretty neat little feature of the cards. And before we get into drawing, there are also some little points I'd like to make about things I need to keep in mind while I'm drawing these cards, because these are just not ordinary cards, they are also AR markers. So when I'm drawing these, I have to actually keep in mind the points, which are these yellow little points you see here. We're using Vuforia Engine in the Ardent Roleplay app, and basically where lines intersect or create a point in the line work mostly, it'll create one of these yellow markers, and that the app basically uses those so the model actually moves around with the card. So to make sure that these little points are really there's a lot of these points in the cards, so I need to make sure that they're all spread out over the cards. That's one of the main points. The borders help with that, because the borders are really good for making points all around the card, and then that makes it like when you move the card around with your hand, the models move really nicely with it. So high contrast, as I mentioned, line work is a big point in this, but it also means my colors can't be too dark, because if they're too dark, then the phone camera might blur out the lines and blur out the points, the tracking points, basically. Anything else? I can't have repeating identical marks or points in any image. So when I upload the images for the app to use, they take out all text. Each border is actually individual per card. I can usually get around this a little bit by flipping the card horizontally. So I only draw half of the suit cards, which is still like 8 borders that look the same but aren't the same. And the other thing is lines can't be too thin, so I have to be kind of careful with how thick or thin my lines are. If they're too thin, then the camera blur might just blur out those points. Just quickly go to showing the party cards. So you might have noticed that there are some horizontal cards in the slideshows that I have. These are party cards, and this is where the party can see the health of their party. The players can see the health of their party, I should say. And each individual player can set their own health status. And they can also see status effects that the GM puts on them. So this one's been poisoned, charmed, on fire, confused, and frozen. So so that's a nifty little card there. So I guess we can get into live drawing now. Alrighty. So for this session, let's go to move my windows around. So for this session, I've got a bunch of sketches here. If you watch my previous streams, you'll have seen this before. I've worked on the knife card in previous streams, and I started the roadway card as well. This stream, I'm kind of excited to get started on this dealer card. So with this card, I want to have some real fun with playing around with perspective and kind of getting a fisheye lens view. So that's where I'm at with this. I don't want to make the lay a little bit creepy. So anyone who's not familiar with the Cthulhu mythos, it's basically horror around the unknown, basically. That simplifies it a lot, but a lot of unknown, uncomprehendable, like horror kind of themes. So what we'll do, I have a template here, so I'm going to bring in this sketch. Oh, that's a bit big. And I've also got an example border from the last suit in here, so I can frame it nicely. So basically I want this creepy old like shopkeeper lady is reaching for some items on a shelf, and in this mirror back behind I want to have some sort of detail, so the mirror exposes that this lady is maybe not all what she seems from behind. So, and make that real faint. I'm going to use this as a guide. I think I'm pretty happy with that cropping. Usually if you have any like lines like along here like the shelf, you want to make sure it's not in the center of the illustration, otherwise you're kind of cutting it in half. So basic rule of thirds here, and that's pretty nice what I've got there. So I got the floor and I got the shelf there, so that's pretty nice. Gonna turn off this border now. So when I usually start these cards, I do like doing pencil sketches a lot, but sometimes I also do a sketch first in Photoshop. So since I've done the drawing here, I've already skipped part of the process. So I'll mostly get into the line work tonight. Alright, so I guess we'll get into it. Because I want this card to be a little bit detailed, so I actually might do some sketch work over the top first. A little bit. Rather than going straight into line. I'll see how I go. So I want this to be a bit detailed. Alright. Where to start? Guess we'll start with the face, I guess. My settings have been changed. There we go. Alright. This lady's got a molecule. Probably a bit bold of me to start with the face straight away. Anyway. I'm actually just gonna sketch real quick, I think. Always look at too bogged down too quickly. I like the idea of this lady having some cheeks and then like a pointy little chin or something. Should we just make the settings? Now I'm just gonna rub this out and start again. Okay, let's. Okay, I like the idea of a pointy little chin. That was a big. Or a pointy or big chin. I'm getting caught up because I want to exaggerate her face, but I'm already getting caught up in it. Okay, let's. I like the idea if she's like lip-sided mouth, like she's almost sneering or something. I could probably go two ways with this. Make her look like really friendly, and then in the mirror you see that she's not so maybe friendly, or you could just look straight out a little bit creepy. I haven't really decided how old I want this lady to be. Not looking too creepy right now. She's just looking like an old lady. A little random mole. Old lady's foot. Don't know about that line. Her hair. What do I want to do with her hair? Also, any viewers, if you have any questions, let me know. I gotta remember to look at chat, but yeah, I'm happy to answer questions about Ardent or the cards. Big chinny boy, yeah. It was either like a really pointy chin or a big chin. I wasn't sure. I'm kind of enjoying this big chin. Let's make this earlobe down here. Get nice. I'm gonna create a new layer for the hair in case I stuff this up. Yeah. Guess I'll just go for the hair, like curly, unruly hair or something. feel like her hair's a little bit more tamed than I initially planned, but that's alright. Can always make it crazier later if you want to. Alright. It's not looking too bad so far. Alright, let's see if we can... I like the idea of having some sort of glasses. I really like the idea of having reflective, creepy glasses in Cthulhu, but I've already kind of done that with the Rider's card in the previous suit, and I also want to do it with this Doctor's card as well, eventually as well. So I can't do it too often. But maybe if I just give her a monocle. Also, if it wasn't clear before, I wanted to be like kind of an old collector's shop lady. It's the general gist I'm going for. That's kind of cool. Can put some dark shadows here. Not sure if I need some definition between the shadow and her edge of the glasses. Yeah. Thanks. With these Cthulhu cards, it's really fun playing with the lighting in this as well. Playing with the really hard shadows. I've probably gone overboard here, but that's okay. Because I've put it on another layer. And I can just delete it. Alright. Well, maybe I should give it back. I'm not too keen on her nose, I think. But that's alright. I think start drawing everything else in. What I should do is I want a fish eye lens, or maybe it's technically not a fish eye lens, but I want some distortion of perspective here. So I'm just going to draw some reference lines for what I'm thinking. Because in my sketch I've got this curved as well. Pretty much everything's curved that way. So that's technically not a fish eye lens, I guess, because it's not going the other way at the bottom. So I could either do that, or I could kind of curve this way. Ooh. So fisheye or that? I think fisheye is fun. We'll go for that. Alright. Cool. Getting more shadow up here. Oh. Gotta change the color back. I just realized that that wasn't solid black for any of those, so I also noticed while I'm streaming in Photoshop, you guys can't actually see the little pop-ups that come up. So when at the moment I'm going into hue and saturation just to make sure all of these colors are actually solid black. That's something that happens sometimes. Sometimes you think you're working in a solid black, but you're not, and that's happens a lot because when I'm making a lot of the Ardent product materials, marketing materials, I use a really dark blue. Sometimes I forget that it's not black. Alright. Okay. But it's fixable, so that's all good. Alrighty. I'm kind of nervous to start on this bottle because in my head it's really cool. So I want this bottle here to be kind of like a human-y shape, but I haven't decided how human shaped I want it. Do I want it to be a hint at a human? You guys reckon that she looks too friendly right now? Or is that a good thing? Alright, try to decide if I wanna go with the bottle straight away. Yeah, alright, let's do the bottles. Start grouping these layers. Alright, made a foreground group. Another thing to note when I'm drawing is when I have very much a foreground going on and then a background, and I want to create that depth. General rule with line work is that you use thicker lines in the foreground, and then as you proceed back you start using thinner lines. So that's something you'll probably see me doing. So for that reason I'm going to make my brush bigger. It might make it bigger than, let's go 25. They've got a really solid, just in comparison, that's how bigger I'm going. So I like the idea of this being a cork. actually thinking that this perspective actually should be a bit more top down actually. You want to get the sense that you're kind of looking down strangely at this lady. That might be a bit too top down. Yeah. Alright. Sketch is throwing me off a little bit. Make that a bit more fainter. Actually, might be a good idea to sketch this in first so I get the perspective right. I'm actually not sure how tricky this card will be yet because I'm skewing the perspective quite a lot. Interesting how it goes. I said I was going to sketch it in, then I immediately go back into doing like actual line work. Alright. So the trick is to pretend that you're sketching, and then you do a better job. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't decided what that shadow will do yet, so leave it. Probably have the opportunity to put some spiders or some other creepy little things back here. Okay. Still a bit torn on what to do with this bottle. I always want to like have like a straitjacket kind of deal, like a mummy kind of deal, like have like the arms of a bigger kind of thing, and then the top is like the head. It doesn't feel like it makes sense to have facing away from the lady for some reason, but maybe that doesn't matter. Yes, this is a Call of Cthulhu themed card. And I'm glad you said that because I was thinking she might have looked too friendly, so that's good vibes. Mm. This is just, I'm just sketching this one in at the moment because this one's a bit more unknown as to what direction I'm taking. I just want it to be like a creepy humanoid kind of looking jar or vessel of some kind. Not sure how the top's gonna go. Maybe like another cork and like the head's the cork. Oh, you can have like round. That's probably a better idea. Like one of these round tops. Looks grisly. Nice. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm happy with that. So like, this is starting to get too big for the area, but it's tricky. I could just do a simple job, but I like making my life hard. I like a challenge. Top of the cork looks a bit like a top hat for an astronaut. Yeah, I wanna make this look humanoid, so having like an awkward sphere as the head. I think that kind of works. Just like a little bit strange. Okay. I just don't know how to do the body bit. How would this... I gotta remember that it's a very top-down perspective I'm dealing with here. You need to start drawing this again. Actually, that's quite odd. This is actually a better perspective for what I'm doing, like the sketch. This one wasn't. Actually bring that sketch back up. Yeah, that's actually way better. Okay. Yeah, cool. Oh. This is looking more like a torso without arms now. Probably fine. I think that's kind of what I intended originally. Alright, well that's a bit creepy. like a torso top down without arms. I feel like something should be like in this spot here. I think we'll keep the little holy lid. Figure out what you'd actually see in it. Super happy with that. I'm actually going to put this on another layer to have a bit more freedom. This is a classic example of me taking a little bit of a risk here, because if I pull this off, it could be really cool. It is a bit tricky. I'm trying to figure out. Ooh, I think I'm getting closer. Figuring out how this lid works. Perspective. Alright, well, that's a creepy looking bottle. I don't think it's quite finished yet, but it looks like human enough that it's a bit unsettling, which is what I wanted. So, roll this shelf in. I always forget that I can actually rotate this. I'm going to move this jar over a little bit. Where you can... Alrighty. Now I guess we tackle this hand here. Go back to the group for the lady. I like using a lot of layers when I draw, just so in case I make mistakes. But it also means that I can get lost very easily. Alright. I like the idea of this lady having like really knuckly, kind of strange fingers, but let's see how I go. It's just so I'm just making the brush a little bit smaller now because it's a little bit further back than this area here. Kind of like how this finger's pointy because it's a little bit strange and unnatural. It's always fun drawing fingers when they're right there. This perspective. I guess we should make her nails a bit grubby. Alright, I think I need to look at my own hand here. It's throwing you. I'm drawing too close. This is an area I really should be sketching first, so let's try that. This thumb is gonna be super annoying. Guess that's why I got it bent in the drawing. The sketch. Do you like making my life difficult? Right. This finger here is not great. His thumb's alright. I mean, I could just extend the thumb out. Might actually be a more natural way of moving. not great. Yeah, you agree the farm extended's better, yeah. Yeah, I think it's easier to draw, and I think it is working better. Could be more gnarly, yeah. I want to exaggerate the knuckles, but need to get this perspective right first. Maybe she just be... It looks like she has like 3 fingers and a thumb at the moment. Alright, what I'm gonna do is leave that for the moment and come back to it. Because we may as well start other things. What is this lady going to be wearing? And it's something I haven't thought too much about. So, going for 1920s American rural kind of vibes. I actually have to look up 1920s. So I'm currently looking up 1920s rural clothing. Have a little look and see what this lady might have been wearing. Also a question of, is this lady the typical lady, or is she a bit eccentric and would be wearing something different? Well, I could do some scarf. There's a lot of options for the 1920s. Alright. I wonder if we could do a scarf or if that would be too much. Might be too much. There's actually quite a lot of diversity in the women's clothing in the 1920s. Smock dress with a collar is common. Yeah, I was thinking collar, but then I was like seeing a lot that had like, rather than a collar, like a stooping neckline. Interesting. I think I am favoring the collar though. Alright, let's just see how we go. First up, good. figure out how this goes. If we're looking at like a neckline like that. I can get rid of that hand for now. Yeah. Apron. I feel like apron might have been where I was going with the initial sketch, but it's been so long. Apron going on there. Yeah, I don't know about that colour line. Yeah, it's not terrible. I'm not sure what this thing was in my sketch. That's interesting. Actually look at my own hand for this. It's the opposite hand. be pretty good doing like creepy, knobbly hands, but it's been a while. This still isn't looking quite right. Spooky music? Is it spooky music? Too spooky. Ah. That's interesting. Should I change it? Too spooky for stream? Is it just the one song, or is it all of the music? Because I thought I had like high fantasy, like fantasy music. Not spooky enough. Fair. I don't hate that finger. It's clearly been a while since I've had to draw a hand like this. I feel like I've gone too straight with that one now. Not my best hand, I must admit. That thumb is throwing me off. Anyway, what time is it? Got 15 minutes before a break. Let's get into some of the background. Move on from the hand for a bit again. already. So I'm going to make my brush a bit smaller again because we're going further back. Gonna do... I don't want to... Good. Yeah, I forget that I can actually do this. So I don't actually I usually press this by accident because I set my hotkeys to be, I set the E to be my eraser and my B to be my brush. And sometimes I accidentally press the R that's next to the E and I accidentally rotate. I rarely actually rotate intentionally because I forget it's a function. But I probably should use it more because it does help creating some of those curves. If you want like a big nice curve like that, it's a really nice idea to actually rotate. Otherwise I don't feel like I need to rotate that much. But now the question is if that's too rounded. It is a little bit extreme, but we are doing Cthulhu themed cards, so maybe it's alright. Oh no, my Photoshop's doing that weird thing. If anyone knows who's watching why my Photoshop sometimes selects weird, let me know. Gremlins. Well, I must admit I didn't think of that before. I actually don't need this line yet. I'm actually just gonna delete that. What am I doing? I did that thing again. Alright. I'm gonna call that line floor because it's my floor line. Kind of. Yep. What this looks like with the border real quick. Maybe we should zoom in a bit more. I think what part of the issue is selection speak again. Part of the issue with this hand is that the fingers and the thumb don't look like it's the same hand. Is this the spoopy looking lady you see in movies who turns out to be a lovely while also being a badass? Maybe. I mean, it does look like that. I think I'm getting those vibes as well. That's why I'm like, maybe she looks too friendly. Because I'm getting those vibes. Alright. This hand is still bothering me a lot, so I was gonna leave it, but I don't know if I can. Alright. So, because this looks like two different hands merged together right now, I'm gonna move this top bit out. think I need to do some foreshortening on the thumb. I don't think I can keep it straight out red. Just put that on another layer for now, and I'm just gonna play with this thumb because I don't think it's not right. I would like to keep it straight like that, but it's not natural, so it's making the rest of the hand look like it's not part of the same hand. It's weird. Now everybody, look at your hands. Okay. It's a pretty tricky thing to draw this. Okay. Really? That's cool. This is more natural in terms of perspective, but I think it's just looking at it's tricky doing this in line work as well. This line work instantly flattens things, so if you're trying to do like foreshortening of the thumb, it's a little bit tricky. And I clearly like testing myself while live on stream. It's particularly funny because I used to like drawing creepy hands when I was younger, like all the time. Actually, yeah, I feel like Back Pocket does use this song that I'm listening to now. I'm not listening to the same song as you at the same time, but I'm listening to the same playlist. I do use this music. Okay. Maybe this hand will look better once there's a bit of colour in. Maybe. I don't know if I made it worse or better, honestly. I used to be so much better than this drawing hands. It's happened. It's been too long. Alright. That's true. Maybe not having the body there was throwing me off as well. Ooh. Alright, let's get back to the background because that's what I said I was going to do before. Oh, but it is break time real soon. Yeah, I'll give it a start and let's sketch in furniture. Ooh, I just realized I'm skewing the perspective this way, but maybe should I be doing it this way as well? I reckon we should a little bit. I think it'd be fun if everything's a little bit wonky. And gonna make my brush a bit smaller again. Should probably be rotating. Actually, that line is a bit messed up. Not quite the nice curve we wanted. There's that one. Alright. actually increase the smoothness on this to get a nice line. It's fine things being a bit wonky, but this is meant to be like a shelf. I don't want it to be too wonky or it'll take too much attention away from the things in the shelf. I don't know about that. It's too curvy. This shelf was all over the place. I mean, maybe that's an okay thing. Yep, it's a curvy shelf. Or is it curvy? What if you, as the viewer, is stuck in your own humanoid jar? And that's why everything's curvy. Because you're looking through curved glass. It's just a little bit morbid. Yep. I'd be spooked too. Okay, so I was rotating. I don't usually rotate, but I was rotating because I knew it's easier to do curved lines. But it was actually throwing me off. I actually draw better when I don't rotate, turns out. But I said that and then I did a bad job. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's 9:30. So I might take a break. Alrighty. Alright, everyone. I'll take a 15-minute break, I think, and I'll be right back after that. See you soon.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a diath or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
This is the second time I played D&D. The first time I played, I actually filled in for a guy that couldn't make it to a session. I made his character completely chaotic evil. I could probably help you out of there, but you're gonna have to give me that coin pouch. And killed the entire party I was with, and yeah, I can't really play with those guys anymore. Because my perception is usually pretty high, I can see a lot of things that the other people can't see, which means that I can kind of take advantage of situations a lot easier than I would be able to in just a normal tabletop standard. Like, it'd be very hard to be like, hey guys, I know the Dungeon Master just said I've got all this stuff in the corner, but don't look at it because you characters can't see it.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
Oh, that's
Sean Sunday's player screens, D&D player screens arrived today, and going to do a quick unpack. What have we got? Look at that, nice. Partly what's really good is that they're kind of low, and with that is what I'm actually really looking forward to seeing, how they work together with Ardent Roleplay. And of course they're particularly good because they have a whole bunch of nice useful information on them for players, not just DMs. if the GM puts down a card, you can still have a really good view of what's going on in the space. So you're still getting that 3D view, you've got the screen, it's not in the way, which is what I was really hoping for, but that height is just fantastic. So you've really got a good view of what's going on the table with Ardent Roleplay, using the augmented reality to see what's happening, and you've got this lovely screen to remind you what you're supposed to be doing and how it all works. So thanks, Sean, for these are fantastic. I'm really glad we backed your project, and looking forward to having a play with them.
Never played it, never played anything interactive. was always on my bucket list. I've always seen it on movies. My friends play it, and I heard that it's like really immersive and that it can last for months.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I couldn't fathom how gameplay works like that. Like tailoring that some people could see certain things and then like other players couldn't. When they said it's all your imagination, I'm like, what? Like anything?
I'm gonna run up to one of them and like hook my bow over its head, draw it back, and like decapitate.
Imagination is endless, and I think having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool way.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imagination is endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a dais or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen, and I can see all this stuff, and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
Hello everyone, and I'm back. Alrighty. For anyone that's just joined us, I'm doing some card illustrations for Ardent Roleplay Augmented Reality app. I didn't say at the start of the stream, but we are a part of Spiel this year, which has gone digital, Spiel Digital. And if you've joined us from there, hello. Yeah, so if you didn't join us before, these cards are basically AR markers, and today I'm doing some Cthulhu themed cards because Ardent Roleplay has a partnership with Chaosium who bring you Call of Cthulhu. So this is where we're at. And so this is for a new suit. It's going to be a rural 1920s Cthulhu suit. And this lady here is going to be a creepy antique dealer. And yeah. Alright. So before I left, I was doing some work on the background here. We're going for a fisheye kind of perspective here, distorting things a bit, just to make things feel a bit uneasy. Alright. So, I'm just currently drawing in some furniture in the back here to give some idea of what I'm dealing with. I'm gonna say there's like a table back here. And I think everything's just going to be a little bit wonky. The trick is to make it still work while being wonky. Just tidying some. And as I said before, with line work you want things in the foreground to have thicker lines than things in the background, and here you can see that the line's actually thicker than a hair, so at some point I'll probably go back and actually make some thicker lines around her head there, just to bring her forward from the background. We definitely don't want her to kind of get lost and sink into the background. Just add a little detail here because we can. Alright. So we're not going for super realistic perspective here because we wanna intentionally distort things a bit, but I do have conflicting things kind of going on here. I kind of need to decide what I'm gonna do because this line here is very much perspective. And decide if I want to keep that for this and then make that also come out. My instincts is to make this like the center line, so then the perspective should be coming out like from that. I think we'll just get rid of this for now. So the front's very much top down, and I like that. I think the background could be a little bit less of that, like as in I want it to recede back a bit more. Okay. I can't really leave this flat. My instincts like do some of that. what? I think we'll actually make it so this is higher than our top-down perspective, so we won't actually see the top of this cabinet. I think this table might be too high. Maybe that's... I want it to be too close to her head though. Probably a timely time to see what it looks like with the border. This is just a placeholder border for those who aren't here before. I'm always feeling like the lady should be bigger, honestly. Actually, I don't mind that. But I really want the mirror in the background somehow. Ooh. I quite like her being bigger, actually. Okay. Let's move. This. Okay, I made a folder, but I didn't put the layers in it. There we go. Alright. Let's move you down. Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna eliminate the background for a second. Ooh. I quite like that cropping much better. I just go back to what I had. How far back do I have to go? That to that. Ooh. Looks like she's peering into your soul. But that works for Cthulhu theme. It works quite well. Alright. Yeah, I think I prefer that. When she's bigger, it's more of a confrontation when she's bigger. So I'm enjoying that more, I think. Now, is the background still going in the direction we want? There's too many different perspectives going on in the background at the moment. I like the shelf. This table is wrong if I want to keep that shelf, so... think I need to draw this mirror in. Those who weren't here before, I want a mirror here that kind of gives a back view of this lady, and something creepy is going on. So something, she looks like an ordinary lady, but then you look in the mirror and you go, oh, what's that about? And that's my general plan. I think these shells are just throwing me off. Or maybe I've gone too curved, actually. Tricky. Sometimes you just need to kind of think about things for a bit. Or come back and then look at it again. I like the shelf. Like the individual shelf by itself. What about this? Yeah, we'll just get the... Actually, I'm gonna move this over a bit. Also, I didn't say after the break that anyone that's just come through the spiel, let me know if you have any questions about Ardent or the cards. Happy to answer. Oh, this floor line is actually probably throwing me out a bit as well. Because if that's a table in the wall, the floor line would be back here somewhere. There. Using a bigger brush when I rinse lenses. Bits. Alright, I keep procrastinating from doing the mirror. Let's just do it. Alright, so before I had the mirror actually attached to the shelf here. My main concern with my mirror idea is that it's going to be too small to have any details. It's very easy to lose the sizing of this, because I'm working up like real close like this, but when it's printed it's much smaller, so that size mirror might not be enough for me to really play with. So let's draw it initially a bit bigger. I could also have it a freestanding mirror instead of hanging off the shelf as well. Let's give that a go. Let's try. Let's try a rectangular kind of fancy mirror. I want this lady to be kind of an antique stealer or something like that, so make this mirror a little bit decorative. Not too much, because I don't want too much detail going on in the background there. That is a much bigger mirror than before, that I had in the sketch. Alright. It kind of looks like it's leaning against the cabinet now, which isn't a bad thing. It actually might work. raise some of this so it's a bit clearer going on. I guess we can work with that for now. Actually, what if there's like something obscuring the mirror bits, like so like a blanket or something, like maybe she's trying to hide the mirror but failed a little bit, but she knows that it reveals the true nature of herself. Alright. We need some holes in this blanket here. Is it be Cthulhu? I kind of suspect that my lines might have been a bit too thick for that. Yeah, that works. Cool. I've got to figure out what other things we're going to have in this room. I think this here, my sketch, was a wheel. And I kind of like that idea, so I'll throw that in. So I want it to like lean against bookshelf. Should make my brush a little bit thinner at this point as I start getting into more details in the background here. Use too thick a brush, then that's gonna kind of draw too much attention. It'll flatten the illustration. Anyone in the chat has suggestions for weird items I could put in the shop, feel free to suggest them. Is that too visually dominating? Maybe. I might just push it off the edge a bit. That's right, I had a lamp here. Lamp's probably a bit too close, like I had in the sketch, but if I push the lamp back, I might be able to do that. May as well finish drawing and the rest of this lady's clothes. That's also something I thought of during the break when I was looking at this. I feel like her mouth should be a little bit slack. And I had initially had that idea with like this slightly open mouth here. And so I'm going to raise her mouth for now and then draw in a new one and see if I can get something better. Or we can always just bring it back. I think I like that already. Give a weird looking teeth. Yeah, I feel like it's a good move. Whether I got it down pat right now, I don't think so. Like, probably do better. I think I do like it more. Before she was just very stiff mouth. Already got a what? Still not keen on a nose as well, I think. So I'm gonna. Make it look real angry. think I need to do something more with these eyebrows. What if she had really crazy eyebrows, maybe? I got a few layers going on here. A bit messy. There's no drawn on pencil eyebrows here. All bushy. Where is that? I'm not sure if that actually made it better, but let's see. How far back do we have to go? Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it. Should be working in the background more. Alright, let's go back to the background, because we got lots of little details to add still. Okay. Now what kind of weird items would you have in a shop like an antique shop? That is the question. Guess we'll draw in some books. Meant this to be some sort of creature, but now it just looks like a person hiding. Distraught. Little man, yes. Either that or squatting to do his business. Why do I draw a creepy little man? Anyway. So, my intention with this guy is that he's... Look, stop. Alright, I need more suggestions on what weird stuff I can put on this. A frog statue just came into my brain. Definitely needs a skull. Yeah, I suppose we could do that. You thinking a human skull or an animal skull, or it doesn't matter? Both. Just needs so many skulls. Just skulls everywhere. At least 3. It needs at least 3 skulls, apparently. Thanks, chat. What would I do without you? Okay. Alright, I should stop doing some boring books. What else can we do? Skulls, you say? See, I feel like a normal skull is just too normal for Cthulhu. So, like, I feel like you need to put some twist on it, you know? Putting some reflection lines on here, just close. This is the fun part, but I'm like a little bit lost. Okay, skulls. This is meant to be like an antique dealer. Maybe there's a... Why would an antique dealer have a skull? Like, what's special about this skull that she would have it? There needs to be like a little twist on it. Like, is it being decorated or modified? It's got a Fae inside, obvious. Well, inside a skull. Could do a skull jar or something. I don't know where I'd put a skull yet. I think like I need to do some other big stuff first. Unless it's a giant skull. Huge skull. Or a deer antler kind of skull thing. Could do that. You know what? Just for funsies, I'm gonna try drawing an antler deer. Except I have to look up a reference. Alrighty. Alright. Just for you, Kikne, I am going to... Nice. Nice emoticon. Now, any skull enthusiast out there, I just want to point out that this doesn't have to be accurate because it's Call of Cthulhu. Okay? I'm not making excuses. But it's true. You can almost hear Brennan yelling. For those who don't know, Brennan is our 3D artist and he loves skeletons. Like a lot. He's a skelly man. Alright. Don't think I got that succulantula right. Does that look like enough like a skull to you? It's not the best. Okay. I think you could do some work. It's not bad, but it's a good. Striving for gold here. Okay. Are you sending me reference images? Thanks. Oh, I haven't got the teeth in there. That's a better angle than the one I was looking at, honestly. It's a much better reference. Clearly I didn't try too hard trying to find a good reference. Well, I just might redraw this whole thing again. It's very tempting. You are helping, thank you. You know what would have helped me more though? If you flipped the image and then sent it to me. I feel like it was better before, but oh, I'm committed now. And let's get these antlers. Okay. like I'm going backwards here a bit, so I'm just gonna bring back what I did. Alright. I think it just needs to be a bit moved a bit, and then we might be good to move on to something else. Alrighty. And do like that. That work? I suppose that works. It's pretty huge though. I am drawing up like some ideas for these a little bit. Yeah, it could be a moose skull. I bet those who actually know what moose skulls look like are going, no, it's not a moose skull. How dare you? Alright, let's just put some boxes around the place, and then we can add some more interesting things in. I'm not sure what this is, but we need something to kind of make it feel like it's actually sitting on the shelf, I think. I'm thinking like sacks or something. Miscellaneous items. I kind of like the idea of having like old dried up herbs and stuff, so she could be like a little bit witchy. Maybe. Or is that too stereotypical? Not sure. Probably get rid of this background sketch. Yeah, there we go. Time is, yeah, got like half an hour left. Ideas, ideas, ideas. I need more ideas. What about some creepy old scales? Well, maybe not creepy, but... Or maybe they are creepy. What if there's stuff on the scales that's like symbolic of something? Oh, a chalice. That's the thing. I'm just gonna remind myself. Chalice. Do a chalice. Yeah. Alright. way bigger than I wanted it. So small. What scales? Turn off that border for a while. Where was I? It's getting to the point where I got so many layers I'm starting to lose myself. Made my line a bit thicker. Let's start that again. I'm trying to think of something creepy that can go on the scale. My brain's just thinking of like a human heart or something, which would be very hard to like convey this far back into the background. Alright. That's another item. I can't think of anything cool to put in it so far. Ooh. That's pretty huge scales. I'm just gonna make that a bit smaller. Kind of cool, I think. A little bit smaller. Okay, need to think of some more weird thing. At the moment, it's not really antiques. It's like valuable antiques. It's just kind of weird stuff. I mean, the scales could be. I guess like old paintings and stuff could go in here. chalice. That's some weird, creepy bird sculpture. Wait, what if I put a goose? I kind of like this little guy. Probably a point where I'm putting too much detail into this, but little details make these really fun, and it's really nice having things that you do, like people playing might not know or realize straight away that there's like this little hidden detail in there. I think like a little frog ornament would be cool. Of course, frogs aren't super easy to draw, but let's try. Should do one of the ones that have like the weird little eyes at the top. Oh my god, look at him. How do I finish off his leg? He's a chunky frog, isn't he? Oh, he looks happy. Look how happy he looks. I don't know how to finish off his legs, so. Bit of an awkward angle. Looks like cross between a frog and the blobfish picture that you see. Which, to be fair, I don't know if that's a bad thing. This is Cthulhu theme. I think it kind of works. Look how silly that looks. Brilliant. It's great. So keep it. Keep it. I don't know if we'll keep it that big, but it's kind of fun. Weird items. I'm really drawing a blank on the weird items. Can do like weapons or something. Frog thing is so weird. A crystal eye. Like an eye that is a crystal? Or do you mean like those ball things? Those ball things. I know what you mean. That seems like an obvious thing, and I don't know why I didn't think of that. Do you mean like one of those ones that psychics use? Oh right, so you actually did mean an eye that was crystal. I did think of eyes before, but then I was like, oh, they're too far away. I could put an eye in the foreground though. Something that could be cool. In fact, I'm going to draw something there to remind myself that I could do that later. Yeah, eyes are spooky. Just peeping through there. There's one eye. Maybe I should just hide eyes everywhere. I'm not sure if the frog guy is like what we're going for, but it makes me happy. Look at that happy face. Doesn't that bring you joy? It brings me joy. I hope it brings you all joy too. Alright. Time is it? 10 minutes till we'll wrap up. Yeah, crystal ball. That's a staple that I feel like I should have here. Let's put it on this shelf. Or should we put it on that shelf? Maybe there's too many of that kind of stuff over there. Bring it over here. And what should it sit on? Actually, one thing I haven't thought of much in this card is the lighting situation, which I probably should, because I haven't thought of it before colouring. It can make things a bit tricky. I did have a lamp in the sketch, so maybe I should think about if I bring that back and where I put it. Alright, here's the creepy crystal ball. I feel like all these items are quite huge. That's right. I feel like I want to bring this table back a bit. Alright, I'm gonna draw some thicker lines around this lady while I'm here. As I said before, I'm doing this so she stands out more from the background. Basically emphasize thicker lines in the foreground, thinner lines in the background to create that depth. The tricky thing is I want her hair to look wispy, but if I outline it too, like everything too thick, lose that organic, like, wispy feel. Alright, now if I go back And you can see the difference that makes. Alright. So lighting, I should probably figure out what I'm doing for lighting. I'll wrap up pretty soon. So lighting. My question is if I want to put a light source in frame or have a light source out of frame. And maybe how I would like this lady's face to kind of be seen. For some reason I'm feeling like a light source off the side here that's kind of like shining on one side of her face or something. But we also have this space here to work with, and in my sketch I had a lantern there before. So that's another option. We could do both. We could have a light source here and then a brighter light source here, so that like the edge of her is lit up on this side, but then there's darkness, and then this side's lit up. Which could be kind of cool. May as well see what a lamppost looks like. Also nice having something breaking up this line back here as well. I was already probably gonna put boxes or something there if I didn't put this here. Yeah, I don't mind that. It could be cool. Could be like a really dull light source, like a dark lamp. So it just gives her like a nice little like edge of light on that side, and then on this side we like pretend there's a light source more to the front of her, so it lights up this side of her face. I think that's what we'll probably do. Things can change while I do the color phase. Alrighty. Okay, I'll make these more. Alright, so that's what we got so far. And I think I'll wrap it up there because it's 11 o'clock. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's progressing. There's a lot of fun little details in this card. I was pretty excited to start this card for that reason. Also the warping the perspective a bit, it's really fun. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow, I think at the same time tomorrow. And I'll just be continuing this card. And there's a good chance I'll get to the color. I'd say definitely start the color at some point. And yeah, so tune in if you are interested in that. You can follow this channel and you'll get a notification. And go back to the chat screen. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. To finish up, I'll just go through quickly